The problem with fat people. Now, listen, I didn't make this video. I'm just reacting to it. So please don't cancel me. I used to be fat myself when I was younger, but I'm no longer fat, as y'all can see. I mean, I hope y'all see that I'm no longer fat. I have no clue what's gonna be said in this video, but let's react to it anyways.
Just because I'm fat, that doesn't invalidate the things that I say.
She died.
You ready to get supersized?
She died too.
Today I got the big Fruit Loop.
He's dead.
Join me on my fat positive radio show.
Which didn't last long because she died.
So before you guys start writing your angry comments calling me fat phobic and saying that I'm one of those red—
Yo, you really cannot. Okay. Now, the thing with fat people and like life and society and how they treat them, I don't feel like we should berate them and just be like, because who does that help if we're just screaming at them, yelling at them? But they do have to understand that that is not healthy in any way, shape, or form. And I feel like a lot of them don't understand that. They feel like they can be really overweight and healthy, but you can't. It's something that simply doesn't exist.
pill guys who hate women. Get to the end of the video because it's probably not going to be what you think. Or actually it might be. So in recent years, there's been something called the fat acceptance movement. And the goal of this movement has been to advocate for societal change and attitudes towards fat people, along with fighting for equal rights for them in all areas of life. Think for example, advocating for a clothing brand to make bigger sizes that accommodate for fat people. Or trying to change the culture that stigmatizes fat people for going to the gym, even though they're trying to change their lives.
Nah, you see, fat people in the gym, bro, I will always like, because it takes like courage, you feel me, so I'll always support fat people being in the gym. Now, really the clothing aspect, I don't know. I was 50-50. I was like, yeah, I don't feel like every brand should accommodate. Now, hear me out. The reason I'm saying I don't feel like every brand should accommodate for fat people is because maybe that can be an incentive for them to lose weight and become healthier. And I'm saying don't cancel me, bro. I don't have no problem with fat people, bro.
Fat people funny or makes them feel uncomfortable because they might be.
I just want healthy solutions.
Like, a little harder because they're a little bit bigger. Then you're the worst.
Oh, she was just stretching.
You're actually a dickhead because you don't know how much effort it actually took that person to get up and try to change their lives. But what I'm here to talk about today is this new wave of content creators who are not only advocating for obesity, but they're glorifying it. Content creators like this.
Yeah, I don't like when it's glorified.
Obesity is what it takes to make other fat people feel hot. Obviously, I'm gonna do that. So yes, I am promoting obesity. Stay mad.
Shut your fat. I don't know what happened, but I think the video cut off. I was gonna say fabulous. Okay, but no, seriously though, for a lot of people, food is an addiction. And notice how you don't see people
Facts, it really is an addiction.
Promoting drug abuse is what's gonna make crackheads feel hot. Of course I'm gonna promote drug abuse, but I'm not surprised at all because these plus size, big bone, big back, whatever else name they have for calling fat.
Hey, listen. I know some Jamaicans that need their passport really badly. They need their passport. They need their green card, bro. Listen, they would have no problems with this. That's all I'm gonna say.
These fat content creators have started to become delusional.
Extra body weight causes, heart problems, diabetes. What do you say to that?
I think that the science isn't actually as clear cut as
See, I hate when they say some goofy shit like this, bro.
Yet about the real relationship.
Bro, it's unhealthy.
Aside from the fact that she's just straight up wrong.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, yeah, it's unhealthy. That don't mean you have to hate yourself, if you're like obese. I don't want obese people to hate themselves. I want them to love themselves so much that they make a healthy change. That's a bar.
Do you see the delusion in this? And honestly, if I was a morbidly obese person, I wouldn't need science to tell me that being obese negatively impacts my health. I mean, the fact that
when I was fat, it sucked. Even though I was a little kid, it sucked,
like
bro.
2 to 3 times the size of a regular person, or maybe not even being able to reach certain parts of my body.
I ain't getting no girls when I was fat, bro.
I need his help a little bit.
What is this, bro? But y'all ever seen that episode of Family Guy when Peter wished he had no bones? That's what this looks like, bro. And he lost all his bones and he was just a blob. That's what that looks like.
I can't reach everything on my back and I can't reach everything below me.
So, no. How do these immobile fat people stay fat, bro? Real talk. Because if you my family member, you can't move, bro. You ain't getting no food. What they gonna do? You just getting straight water until you become like a good size where you can move around. And even then, once you move around, hopefully by that point, you will feel better physically, spiritually, emotionally,
Wouldn't need any science
to where you don't go run after food no more.
So bad that we even have doctors getting paid to say stuff like this.
But 96% of those participants in The Biggest Loser regained their weight because their brain worked well. It was supposed to bring them back to store what they needed or what the brain thinks it needs. So willpower, throw that out the window.
So you're saying that their brain, which, correct me if I'm wrong, usually functions to help us survive, is telling them to get so big that they can barely move or do day-to-day?
Nah, their brain is telling them to overconsume, and anytime they feel any like amounts of hunger, their brain interprets that as a signal that, yo, we need to eat. And with a lot of the foods that we have nowadays, like, they're really addictive, and they have all these additives and preservatives. Like, sugar is really addicting. It's like why binge eating is so prevalent. So I already know how that goes, because your brain tricks you a lot in negative ways and positive ways. But
you see how that doesn't make sense? And I know one of you guys is come through trying to make this argument.
I disagree, because I believe in society, especially in America, we have this idea that, oh yeah, all fat people ate themselves that way, that they just sit at home and they're lazy and they don't do anything and they ate themselves that way. But they don't take into account people who have a disease. They don't take into account people who work out and their body is just built that way.
now, nobody's body is just built that way, but I will say the cause of weight gain is simply being in a caloric surplus. So if you overeat, if you eat more than you consume, then that's surplus. You could be an active person, you could be work out all the time, but if you eat, I said eat more than you consume. If you eat more calories than your body burns daily, you're gonna gain weight no matter what you do. So that end is true, but there's not diseases of people who body just gets fat, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not a thing. But you gotta meet in the middle with like a lot of things. I'm yapping a lot this reaction. I hope y'all like it.
Really high cholesterol, or low bone density, or too high of a resting heart rate. They might have a chronic illness or other autoimmune disease. Yes, thin people could have type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure.
True.
And yeah, tomorrow I might get bit by a spider and turn into Spider-Man. Do you see how weak
the one thing at the end was true, but everything else she said was cat.
Within the fat community that does suffer from these conditions, but I definitely don't think it's the majority. Most people are fat because of their life decisions. Now I get it. We have women who get pregnant and put on weight. We have people who get depressed and use food as a coping mechanism. And I'm not shaming any of those people. I just want us to operate in reality. These fat
we gotta be honest. We can't shame them, but we gotta be honest.
Obese, you can still get sick and deal with the same illnesses, and no one denied that. All we're saying is that you being morbidly obese puts you at a higher risk of getting these illnesses. And trust me, I get it. Your body, your choice. But when I'm sitting next to you in that plane ride for 6 hours, squished, and I can't move my arms, at that point,
that's an inconvenience,
bro. It's starting to affect my choice too. And since we're on the topic of airplanes, we gotta talk about this petition that this fat content creator started.
I think every plus size traveler should get a free second and even third seat on an airplane. I'm on a mission to revolutionize the travel industry and make it a more accessible.
There's certain opinions we have to, as a society, we gotta invalidate them, bro. We just gotta be like, no, we don't have to be mean. We don't gotta put them down, but we gotta tell them, be quiet. That's the best way I could put it, because this is just harmful. Like, she's speaking from a very entitled point of view. Like, oh, I'm entitled to this because I'm overweight, because of choices that led to a final consequences. Because I'm not gonna say being overweight is a choice. It's a product of multiple choices that leads to an ultimate conclusion or ultimate result. But don't act like you're entitled because of that. You're not entitled to nothing. And when you act like you're entitled and things like that, that leaves other people with lower self-esteem who don't necessarily want to put in the work. That makes them feel like they should be entitled. And that's not how we should go about unhealthy behaviors.
Accepting, accommodating place for all.
Bro, if she slimmed down, she got her like really wide hips. If she slimmed down by like 200 pounds, because she gotta be at least 400, bro. What's going on?
At the end of the day, an airline is a business. So for you to think that they're gonna give up 2-3 seat spaces up for free, newsflash, buddy.
2-3, bro.
And I hate how she's so comfortable.
That's not fair, bro.
The rest of society due to her poor eating decisions. And honestly, this lady right here might be my least favorite fat content creator.
Said to me, well, have you eaten? And I said, yeah, I had some pizza earlier. And they said, you need to eat something like a bit more healthy. Now, There are a few words that I don't allow when somebody comes into my house, and healthy is one of them.
And you know what irks me the most is that some of these fat content creators like her are promoting this fat lifestyle of overindulgence to their supporters while they have trainers helping them improve their health. So instead of practicing what you preach—
Hey man, Beyonce created single ladies and went home to her men and left a whole bunch of single miserable girls dancing in a circle looking like some damn fools.
You're leading
That's
your
all I'm gonna
supporters
say.
towards an early death while you get away scot-free. And the saddest part is that I know that a lot of these fat content creators know the repercussions of being
Oh
that
my
way.
God,
For the
what
sake of
is
keeping the
that?
platform they built on glamorizing obesity, they're willing
Yo,
to put
bro,
people's lives
I did thought, I ain't finna say what
but
I
can't
thought, bro.
highlight the people who have lied to their supporters without highlighting the people who have been honest and have tried to make a positive change in their lives.
I'm 25 and being fat led me to having cancer. I know what you're thinking, Jordan. Being fat doesn't cause
I like
cancer.
when they're
And
open
you're
like
right,
this
it
and
doesn't.
they make
But
efforts.
some of the
I love
negative
people who make an
repercussions of
effort
being
to
fat
make a
can lead
change
to
in their
you
life.
getting cancer. It was
I'll
really hard
always
for me
support that.
to get on TikTok initially.
If the change is beneficial.
And talk about the fact that I had cancer that was literally caused by me being fat. When I have an entire audience and an entire platform dedicated to showing that your life doesn't have to suck if you are fat.
Everybody, let's clap it up for her. Let's clap it up for her. Because see, my point is, if you're a content creator that's worth their salt, you making a positive lifestyle shift isn't going to kill your content creation career. And if those are really your supporters, they'd want the best for you anyways. And to end this video on a high note, we're going to highlight more people who have changed their life around.
Thank you. Yeah, let's end it. We should end like all videos on a positive note.
Acceptance influencer on Monjaro, in recovery from food addiction, working on changing my lifestyle.
That's so good. Like, thank you for showing this at the end, bro.
Majority of my 20s, and it convinced me that I should not trust doctors to the point where I did not go see a doctor even when I was extremely ill. Until I was 26 and pregnant with twins. And later in my pregnancy, I got diagnosed with gestational diabetes, which is common for women who are overweight and
I didn't know the movement was like encouraging them not to seek. And it's crazy. It's so crazy that that's a thing, because that's also a thing that's very prevalent in the Black community. Like, because a lot of times people in the Black community, they can't even afford like insurance to go be seeing a doctor after every little pain and ache. But, you know, with slavery and just a lot of corruption, because there's corruption in the medical industry for sure, medical and pharmaceutical industries. But in general, Black people are taught not to trust a lot of establishments. And it's so crazy because our parents will send us to school like that, but say, oh, like, okay, they'll say things like, oh, you just got a little headache, or, oh, the doctors, they don't know, they'll be convinced themselves the doctors, they don't know what they're talking about. Or they'll say the doctors are working in contingent with the pharmaceutical companies to keep us sick. Doctors want to keep us sick. So these type of conversations, they start to seep in the whole Black community. Like, I know for a fact, if you're a part of the Black community, if you Black, you've heard someone say that they're trying to kill us, they're trying to poison us, they giving us a whole bunch of junk. So that discourages people from like even going to the doctors in the first place, when a lot of times those checkups, going to the doctors, end up saving their lives, or at least like, you know, spotting certain illnesses before they get really bad. But that's a dangerous ideology. I'm not saying you should trust doctors 100% with no questions, and you shouldn't try to seek out your own enlightenment, I guess, your own insights. That's the word I was looking for. But like, having them scared to go to doctors is crazy, bro.
I've been working very hard to unlearn and deconstruct from
I'm yapping a lot of this reaction. Hope y'all like it.
And I feel like this story that I'm telling you is extremely important. Fat acceptance, rather, is incredibly dangerous.
Now, for any people watching this who are struggling with their weight, please don't think I was trying to belittle you with this video. I truly think that you should love yourself.
But he didn't come off in a belittling way, though.
But at the same time, I think you should want better for yourself, not only for you, but for the people who love you as well. With that being said, if you made it this far, don't forget to like, comment.
Hey man, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Drop any video you want me to react to in the comments. And don't forget, stay healthy, stay fit, and stay smooth, baby.